Sorry, the sound and video will lag a little bit just because that's the way that this is running. But we are going to get to work. So, I'm sorry I dragged my feet so long. I saw a couple of you guys got your projects done yesterday. Actually, a number of you did, which is super awesome. Appreciate the effort. It's going to be fairly quick for what we're doing today. We're doing a study going back with our value and using our cross hatching and line hatching. But let me get this presented for us and we will get rolling really quick. I'll take my picture off for a second. All right. Get rid of you. How do I do that? There we go. All right. So the image that we are using, I'm not going to keep the image up the entire time because I realized when I did this video last time that your picture, the picture that I was looking at was large the entire time, but the drawing that I was doing was really tiny. It was harder to see. So I'm just going to show it real fast and then I'm going to get to work. But going back to our last value project we did. Present my screen real fast. This is going to be the same sheet that we're going to work with, and we're going to do a study again. This time, instead of doing 5 studies, you're only going to do 4. I'm going to cut it down by 1, but it's going to be a little bit more intense because you're going to be using pen and doing your value that way for your study. So just to be consistent, I am going to do 2 studies, the same spaces I did last time. So I'm going to do this little top edge, and then I'm going to do this side piece right here, just to make sure that we're all on the same page with that. But now I'm going to stop presenting, and I'm going to show this. So yes, you are going to start with lines, and then you're going to get rid of them using value. So it's the same process that we worked on last time. Let me see if I can turn a light on to get us to the spot where we can see what's going on. Why are you not working? I'm just not on point today. This is plugged in. There you go. Okay, that's a little better. Let's hope this doesn't turn off halfway through. There's light. It's better. All right. So the same process that we went through last time, we're going to cover now as I'm drawing this. If I start on my sheet, I'm going to start with a light pressure line. Now, like I've said last time, these Bic type pens are a little bit different than like our gel ink pens. Gel ink pens, the pressure of the pen doesn't really do much. It still ends up giving kind of the same darkness of our line, where your Bic pen, your ballpoint pen, that's not a gel ink, you can actually make a lighter value with your pen the more pressure you put on it. It's kind of interesting. It works very much like a pencil in that sense. So you see the difference. I can't really do that same thing with my gel pen. I can go a little bit lighter, but as soon as the lines start filling in, I mean, those lines are going to be pretty dark, as we can see right there. Okay, so you got to kind of keep that in mind as you're working. I will use my Bic-ish pen, okay, as I start working with this. And again, going to that top corner, I'm just going to lightly come through. I'm going to add my line. I'm going to come this way, looking at my picture. I'm going to come back over here. Then it kind of comes down a little bit. And then I'm going to come through and add where my shadows are, understanding that my lines are going to be a little bit more difficult to get rid of now. Okay. And go like that. Let me pull this a little bit closer so we can see. Okay. And then I have the shadows going to come through here. Kind of goes at an angle. And then it comes down. Again, I'm barely touching my paper with my pen. And this one kind of comes like this, but I'm going to eventually blend that out. Now, this edge right here is going to be my hard edge. So this is going to be white, like my one over on this side. Then over on this side is going to be darker. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this line and I'm going to expand it a little bit, basically meaning I'm just going to color, and I'm going to move that color to the left. And I can still do the same process I did with the pencil, which is getting rid of my line by adding the value. Okay. And once I get that darkness right there, I'm then going to start my hatching process. And all I'm going to do, as you see, is I'm going to pull some lines away just like that. Okay, that's just to get it started. Now, that's a pretty dark spot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go one more run through, but I'll make the lines a little bit longer. And then to make it really dark down towards this, to mirror that same shape, I'm going to go cross hatch and go against the grain of those, just right at that ledge, to make it a little bit darker to really show how hard of an edge I have right there. Like that. Now, the rest of this is going to be gray, as I can see. So I'm just going to kind of take this line that I started, and I'm going to go across the entire thing. And that's going to mean that now pretty much this whole thing has that kind of gray tone. Oh, there goes my light. It died. And then over on this side, this line that I have here is going to be basically gone. And I'm going to again use my hatching to kind of show there's an edge there. Now, the problem with this is going to end up looking kind of like stitching. Oops, come back. So what I got to do is come through and I'll start adding some cross hatching to get it a little bit thicker. Still kind of leaving a soft edge. What I mean by a soft edge is it's blended. And then I'm going to come make this actually a little bit thicker. So I'm going to go one more time with my cross hatching. And then from there, I'm going to start darkening this area up a little bit more with some more hatching. Just kind of blending back and forth, crossing over my lines, trying to add my value. Now, the problem that's happened, my value looks all right, but the problem that's happened here is I have this almost like a feather look right here in the middle. If you can see that. Okay, because I have hatching to my left this way and I have hatching to my right on this side. So I'm going to come horizontal and just throw some more lines really light across that, just to kind of bind it all together. Let me see how that works. Okay, my edge over here is a super dark black, so that's very easy. We all know how the outside works. I'll go like this, Come all the way along this edge and color it in. And I'll get my dark black on the outside. Making sure I have a hard edge. And then that gives me my contrast from my background to my foreground. Okay. I end up taking that all the way around, and I might pull it out a little more too, just to kind of show that there's more space. It's not just like a fur around the outside of this. Okay. And then I'm going to come over on this side. And I'm not going to waste your guys' time showing you what it would look like, but I will color in this side as well. And then come back and keep experimenting. Okay. Now, if I don't like how this looks, I need to make sure I change it. Other thing that I'll do is to kind of round this out is I have this kind of dark gray around the outside, this shadow. So I'll come through and add some of these. And this outside here, I'll cross hatch it a little bit too. Again, because of the pen that I'm using, I can also use my pressure a little bit to have a light amount of pressure on these edges. But when I start adding the value on this side, it makes it look a little bit more realistic, like a sheet, because I have my shadows indented on this section. Okay. Just kind of playing around with it, seeing how that works. Again, like we did last time, remember this is a study. So if I don't like how this looks, I might actually try it again. Try it again and see if I can get it better. Or I go to a different spot. Now what I'm going to do really quickly, over here, so I do another study, and it's that right side of the sheet again. So here's this kind of flow that goes like this. And then I have these light lines, one's there. This actually folds back down to here. One shoots out this way. And there's these edges that come up like that and like that. So then with these edges, I have white on this side. And I'm going to come through and I'm going to start adding my shade. Now this one, I'm not going to go as much hatching like I did over here. I'm going to use the pressure of my pen. So I'm going to go lightly with my pen, just like I would do with my pencil. And I'm going to try to get rid of this line. And once I get rid of this line, a little harder. And then I'm going to expand and go really light out here. Same concept where I'm light with my pen pressure, and then I'm get tighter as I go, more pressure as I come this way. And I'm just going to keep working back and forth. My hatching is now my lines kind of crossing over themselves. So it's still pressure a little bit like a pencil, but I'm going to add more lines left and right, left and right, left and right. And I'm liking the way this looks value-wise a lot more than the way that this one looked. I'm going to come back under here and see how this folds. So I'm going to try to keep this same pressure. And I'm going to curve my lines a little bit. And remember, this is that difficult part because of where the lines translate or transition, the shadow. So I'm going to come this way. And when I'm getting rid of this line under here, let me see, it's dark over here, but it's really light right here. So I'm going to make this spot darker. So it comes all the way over to this edge. And then up here, I'm going to make it dark, but it's actually going to be lighter right here. Sorry, it's going to be darker right here. And then it's lighter on the rest of this stuff over on this side. Again, playing with my pressure. I might cross hatch this up a little bit with my light pressure just to give it a little bit more value to it. And then I'll darken this up down here. Keep looking at my shadow. This whole thing's actually pretty dark. Now, see all these scribbles? That doesn't look great, but I can just keep pressing and keep layering. And what'll end up happening is I just cover things and I can end up adding the value where I need it. I don't like to do big scribbles. So that's why I'm showing you what not to do. I like to do smaller scribbles. So when I come back, I can work it back and forth. I can still save it if I do big scribbles like I'm trying to do right now. This is the darkest space over here. So see, it still works. You can still save it, but we don't want to have a ton of pen showing. And then as this works down, this shadow comes all the way down here. And I can fill this in and make this slightly darker and improve this transition again just by going back and forth with my pen. We're practicing. We're playing. We're studying. We're trying to teach ourselves, okay? Trying to make sure we can do this as the best of our ability. Now, when you get to the point that you are working on this, you don't necessarily have to, let me switch this camera back. I'm not exactly expecting you to do the same exact portions of the sheet you did last time, okay? You don't have to do the same exact spots. If you want to, you can, because you might have confidence in those spaces or not. But what I really want to do is just want to see you really try and see if you can figure out how to do this. The best thing about the last projects that I got from you guys, it was great, was I could see the growth from one to the next, which is super, super awesome. So that's what we're really looking for, is your growth, that you're pushing yourself, that you're trying, that you're attempting. You really want to impress me? I would like to see you do one piece of the sheet and then maybe try that same sheet again and see if you can do it better, okay? This time, we are going to do a minimum of 4 studies, so not 5. We'll do 4 of them, but we'll use the same exact sheet, and then you're using a ballpoint pen. To switch it up, have a little fun if you want to. I don't mind if you use a different color ballpoint pen. If you want to use a red pen or want to use a blue pen or a green pen or whatever, that's really up to you, but I'll make sure we're using a pen because we're not going to be smudging it with our fingers and trying to blend it in that way, okay? It's a lot of talking with not many responses. What do you guys feel? Do you guys have any questions? Anything that you're concerned about?
Everything's good.
Thank you so much. All right. So you will have today to work on this, and you will have tomorrow asynchronously to work on this. It'll be due tomorrow by the end of the day, and then we will start our final value drawing on Thursday. Cool. That's all we got. You can go ahead and jump off and get to work. I will be here to help you if and when you need it. Have a great one, guys.